Welcome to Idea Cartography, where we map the mind, chart the journey, and turn every idea into direction. At Idea Cartography, we don't fear the wrong turns, we study them, we learn from them, and we turn them into coordinates for success. There comes a moment in every life when the ground shifts beneath your feet and the path you thought you were walking suddenly bends, not because you're unworthy, not because you're unprepared, not because you're incapable, but because life has a way of teaching you through the very moments you hope to avoid. And I want you to hear me when I say this. Really, hear me. Failure is not the end of your story. It is the chapter that teaches you how to read the rest of the book. It is the moment that forces you to stop, breathe, and ask yourself who you are when the applause fades, when the plan collapses, when the certainty disappears. Because greatness, true greatness, is not built on the days when everything goes right. It's built on the nights when nothing makes sense and you still choose to rise. It's built on the mornings when you wake up with disappointment sitting heavy on your chest and you still decide to move forward. It's built on the afternoons when you're staring at the pieces of a dream that didn't survive the storm and you whisper to yourself, "I'm not done yet." Failure is not a verdict. It's a reroute, a detour designed to show you something your original path never could. And I know that detours can feel like punishment. They can feel like rejection. They can feel like the universe is closing doors faster than you can reach for them. But what if just for a moment you allowed yourself to believe that the detour is not a denial, but a direction towards something sturdier, something wiser, something that can hold the weight of the person you're becoming. Because the truth is, you are not the same person you were before the setback. You're not the same person you were before the heartbreak, the disappointment, the unexpected turn. You've grown, you've stretched, you've learned to stand in the middle of uncertainty and still claim your place in the world. And that matters. That counts. That is the quiet, unglamorous work of becoming. Failure has a way of stripping away the noise. It removes the distractions. It silences the opinions that once felt so loud. And in that silence, you begin to hear your own voice again. Not the voice shaped by expectation, not the voice shaped by fear, not the voice shaped by comparison, but the voice shaped by truth. The voice that says, "I am still here." The voice that says, "I am still capable." The voice that says, "I am still becoming." Failure is feedback. It's information. It's a mirror that shows you what needs strengthening, what needs refining, what needs releasing. And I know it's tempting to run from that mirror, to hide from it, to pretend it isn't speaking to you. But the people who rise, the people who build lives that inspire others, are the ones who dare to look. They dare to ask themselves the hard questions. They dare to sit with the discomfort long enough to understand what it's trying to teach them. Every setback carries a lesson. Every disappointment carries a message. Every closed door carries a redirection. And when you stop seeing failure as a final destination, you start seeing it as a guide that says, "Turn here," a guide that says, "Slow down," a guide that says, "There's something ahead you're not ready for yet, but you will be." Greatness requires recalibration. It requires the courage to adjust your route without losing sight of your destination. Because the dream is still yours. The vision is still yours. The purpose is still yours. And the map you've been carrying in your heart doesn't disappear just because the road gets rough. You may have to take the long way. You may have to take the scenic route. You may have to walk through valleys you never planned to enter, but the destination remains. And sometimes the long way teaches you what the straight path never could. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you patience. It teaches you humility. It teaches you to trust yourself even when the world is silent. It teaches you to believe in your own capacity to rise. And that belief, that quiet, steady belief, becomes the foundation you stand on when the next challenge comes. Because there will be more challenges. There will be more moments that test your strength, your courage, your commitment. But you will not face them as the person you were before. You will face them as someone who has already survived disappointment, as someone who has already rebuilt after loss, as someone who has already learned to navigate the detours. And that makes you powerful. That makes you steady. That makes you unstoppable. Because once you've learned that failure cannot break you, you stop fearing it. You stop shrinking from opportunities because you're afraid of falling short. You stop holding back your brilliance because you're afraid of being misunderstood. You stop dimming your light because you're afraid of being judged. You start showing up fully. You start speaking with conviction. You start walking with intention. You start living with a sense of purpose that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks. And that is when your life begins to shift. That is when doors begin to open. That is when opportunities begin to find you. Not because everything suddenly becomes easy, but because you've become stronger, more grounded, more aligned with who you truly are. Failure didn't stop you. It shaped you. It carved out the space inside you where wisdom could grow. It built the muscles you now use to carry the weight of your calling. It taught you how to stand tall, even when the wind is against you. And now you walk with a different kind of confidence, a confidence that comes from knowing you've been tested, a confidence that comes from knowing you've been stretched, a confidence that comes from knowing you've been refined. And still you rise, still you move, still you believe, still you become. Every wrong turn has brought you closer to the truth of who you are. Every setback has pushed you toward a deeper understanding of your strength. Every detour has carried you toward a version of yourself you might never have discovered otherwise. And when you look back, not today, not tomorrow, but years from now, you will see that the moments you once feared were the very moments that prepared you to lead, prepared you to love, prepared you to rise, prepared you to walk into rooms you once felt unworthy of entering, prepared you to stand in your truth without apology, prepared you to build a life that reflects your courage, your resilience, your vision. So don't run from the detours. Don't hide from the setbacks. Don't shrink from the moments that challenge your confidence. Lean into them. Learn from them. Let them shape you. Let them strengthen you. Let them guide you toward the greatness that has always been yours. Because the truth you must carry with you is this: every wrong turn is a step closer to your map of success. And you are still on your way, still rising, still becoming, still destined for more than you can see right now. Keep walking, keep trusting, keep moving toward the life that's waiting for you. Your detour is not your defeat. It is your doorway, and you, with all your strength, all your courage, all your resilience, are ready to walk through it. There's something powerful that happens when you stop treating failure like a stain on your story and start seeing it as a signature of your growth. Because every person who has ever built something meaningful has walked through seasons where nothing made sense, where the vision felt too heavy, where the progress felt too slow. And yet they kept going, not because they were fearless, but because they learned to move even with the fear still sitting in their chest. They learned to breathe through the uncertainty, to steady themselves in the chaos, to trust that the path would reveal itself one step at a time. And that trust, that quiet, steady trust, is what carried them forward. See, failure has a way of introducing you to the parts of yourself you didn't know you needed. It shows you your grit. It shows you your courage. It shows you the strength you only discover when everything familiar falls apart. And once you've met that version of yourself, you can't go back to who you were before. You start walking differently. You start thinking differently. You start choosing differently, because you've learned that the moments that break you open are the same moments that build you up. You've learned that the cracks in your confidence are not signs of weakness, but openings for wisdom. You've learned that the roadblocks you face are not there to stop you, but to shape you. And when you finally understand that, something shifts inside you. You stop rushing the process. You stop comparing your journey to someone else's. You stop apologizing for the time it takes to grow. Instead, you begin to honor the pace of your own becoming. You begin to trust the rhythm of your own evolution. You begin to see that every delay has purpose. Every setback has meaning. Every detour has direction. Because the truth is, you are being prepared for rooms you haven't entered yet. You are being strengthened for challenges you haven't met yet. You are being refined for opportunities you haven't seen yet. And preparation rarely feels comfortable. Growth rarely feels gentle. Transformation rarely feels easy. but it is necessary. It is sacred. It is the work that turns ordinary people into extraordinary leaders. It is the work that turns quiet dreams into undeniable realities. It is the work that turns uncertainty into clarity and struggle into strength. So when failure shows up, and it will, don't shrink. Don't run. Don't let the weight of disappointment convince you that you're not capable. Stand in it. Breathe through it. Learn from it. Let it sharpen you. Let it deepen you. Let it guide you toward the version of yourself you were always meant to meet. Because the journey you're on is bigger than the moment you're in. The story you're writing is richer than the chapter you're reading. And the person you're becoming is stronger than the obstacle you're facing. You are not lost. You are learning. You are not failing. You are forming. You are not off track. You are being rerouted towards something greater than you imagined. And one day, you will look back and realize that the very moments you questioned were the moments that carried you forward. The very moments you resisted were the moments that revealed your strength. The very moments you feared were the moments that freed you, because failure didn't end your journey. It expanded it. It widened your perspective. It deepened your resilience. It taught you how to navigate life with intention, with courage, with clarity. And that right there is the beginning of greatness. This is idea cartography. Keep charting boldly and walk the path only you can map. Subscribe if you're mapping your own path.